What's good, folks? It's the WC, man. Here with week one's NFL game picks. All right, I'm going to run down the list. You know what I'm saying? It's a full slate of games. It's week one. It's going to be like this for the next couple of weeks. So I'm just going to go through all the games, man. Starting with Thursday night, the return of football, prime time. And every single week this year is going to be games on Thursday night, I think, for the most part. The first matchup that's going to be on Thursday night is going to be the Green Bay Packers against the defending, reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks' defense is beastly. I'll be one of the first people to admit it. But Aaron Rodgers, if anybody can, trump the Super Bowl party for the Seattle Seahawks, it's Aaron Rodgers and that dynamic offense that they have there in Green Bay. One of the weaknesses that Green Bay has on offense is probably their running back position. But, I actually like Lacy. You know what I'm saying? I actually like, their backfield, but that's probably one of their, weak spots. And in order to really beat a team like Seattle, you have to wear them down with the running game. You have to use play action, go over the top. Seattle's favored to win this game by about 6 points. I think that Seattle's going to hold home field. Russell Wilson, I think, is about 16-1 at home starts, and I don't think that they're, Green Bay's going to, take it from them in this game. So I'll go with Seattle beating Green Bay. The next game that's going to be happening on Sunday is starting the Sunday slate of games. New Orleans at Atlanta. Now I'm looking at New Orleans and I'm saying, Drew Brees is basically the captain of that team. He's everything for that team. As he goes, the team goes. There is no Jimmy Graham without Drew Brees. And then you look at Atlanta. Atlanta's got, they added in Devin Hester. They got Roddy White, coming back. They got Julio Jones, who's a speedster. So, Atlanta's got a lot of, speed on their squad. But the key to this game is going to basically be, how long can Atlanta stay on the field? Running the ball with Steven Jackson is going to be very, very important for them. New Orleans is going to be favored by, I think, -3.5 points. It should be a close game. I don't think that the defenses are going to be too much of a big factor in this game. I think that both teams will be able to put up some points. So I'll just say whichever team's defense holds up the longest is probably going to be the team that's going to win this game. I'm going to go with New Orleans because Drew Brees, man, he just finds a way to win. He's one of those quarterbacks where I don't think that he has to throw for 300 yards, but I think he'll do that against the Atlanta defense. Going on to the next game, Minnesota against St. Louis. St. Louis loses Sam Bradford for the entire season. Again, some people are saying that Sam Bradford is a China doll. What do you want me to say? I can't dispute that. And you look at that Minnesota. Minnesota basically goes and they stop and they rise and they fall with the success of Adrian Peterson. If they're going to have any kind of chance of beating St. Louis in St. Louis, they're going to have to, feed the ball to Adrian Peterson. They're going to be starting Castle at quarterback. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, despite Sam Bradford not being in there, I'm going with St. Louis in this game. They're actually favored to win this game. I'm going to go with St. Louis to win this game. Now, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, the Johnny Manziel show, basically. I'm pretty sure. I think that there should be an over or under how many times the CBS broadcast actually shows Johnny Manziel on the sidelines looking around. I want to see the over and under for that. But anyway, Pittsburgh is trying to revamp their defense. Brent Roethlisberger is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, whether you hate him or you love him. Pittsburgh's favored to win this game. I think that Pittsburgh will win this game over Cleveland. Going to Jacksonville and Philadelphia. Well, Sean McCoy and that not defense, but that offense is basically going to be the reason why they win this game. Jacksonville, I think that they should start Blake Bortles, but they're not going to do that. I think that Philadelphia wins this game easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that Jacksonville is incapable of going into Philly and shocking Philly. I'm just saying that LaShawn McCoy, all you got to do is just get him the ball about 20 times, and I think that should do the job right there. Oakland against the New York Jets. The Jets are favored to win this game. Oakland goes out and they get Maurice Jones-Drew, Matt Schaub, a couple of good offseason additions. But I think that the Jets are probably going to win this game. We're favored to win this game. Geno Smith starting over Mike Vick, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what it is. I don't think that the Jets are going to have to put up 20 something points. I think that this might be one of the most low scoring games of week one, honestly. So I'm looking at the Jets to basically win that game. NFC North division rivalry. All right, is up next with Cincinnati and Baltimore. Cincinnati basically recovering after their playoff embarrassment, and Baltimore being the defending champions last year, not even making the playoffs. Baltimore's favored to win this game. I think that they'll win this game despite not having Ray Rice for the first couple of games with that laughable, suspension that was laid down by Roger Goodell. I'm looking at, Cincinnati. I'm saying their offense and their defense is just, when they're playing at a high level, this is probably one of the best young teams, all right, in the AFC, probably in the entire league. Can they go into Baltimore and beat Baltimore week one? Yes, they can. They got A.J. Green, they got Dalton. And I expect for them to hook up a couple of times. But that Baltimore defense in the end, I think will spell them in the end. And I think the Baltimore will win against Cincinnati. Going on to Buffalo and Chicago. It's one of those intriguing games. Buffalo's got a ton of speed, coming out with Sammy Watkins and C.J. Spiller and E.J. Manuel. But, Chicago's got Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte, and, it's just one of those things where Cutler should have, enough time in the pocket to deliver the passes over the middle, over the top. I expect for the Bears to roll in this game. But watch out for Buffalo. They've got a ton of speed. Going to Washington and Houston. Now, Houston is favored to win this game by the slightest of margins. I think it's going to come down to maybe a missed field goal, maybe an untimely turnover, maybe for Washington, unfortunately, because I'm a Washington Redskins fan, as you can tell. But, I'm looking at Houston, I'm saying, their starting quarterback situation is questionable. They got Arian Foster in the backfield. They still got, Andre Johnson, basically to throw the ball to, play action. But the Redskins got so much speed and size on offense. If they can get it together, man, the Redskins should have a top-ranked offense in the league. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Redskins fan. But in this game, I'm going to go with the Redskins because, I don't know if Houston has enough offense to kind of spell, Washington and confuse Washington's defense enough. Brandon Mayweather not being in there the first couple of games is probably going to hurt Washington when it comes to defensive coverage. But I think that they'll be able to shadow it. So I'm going to go with Washington. I'm going to go against the line right there. The next game is Tennessee and Kansas City. Now, I'm looking at Tennessee and I'm saying Jake Locker has got all the potential in the world to be, a good young quarterback. He's got to wake up someday, somehow. They added in McCluster. Tennessee's got some good young pieces. I'm looking at Tennessee the same way I'm looking at Kansas City. Like, can they piece it together? But, Kansas City is a lot more farther along. Andy Reid is going to have these guys prepared like he has his teams prepared most of the time. So I'm going to go with Kansas City to win that game, trying to move along a little bit more quicker. Going on to New England and Miami. Looking at Tom Brady back for another year with Bill Belichick. They're expected to roll in this division. I'm just going to go with New England. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Miami can't win this game, but I don't think that Miami can get enough of a defensive effort. You know what I'm saying? If they could turn the ball, if they can make New England turn the ball over 3 times, New England, matter of fact, Miami can win this game, but I don't see that happening. Carolina and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's improved on offense by going out and getting Mike Evans at wide receiver. They still got Doug Martin in the backfield. I'm looking at the Carolina Panthers and saying, the 12-4 season that they had last year, they had to respond. They're favored to win this game. This is a game that they should win, and I think that they will win it. Looking at San Francisco and Dallas. Dallas, going out and getting Michael Sam recently just a couple days ago. Or not a couple days ago, but just a couple days ago. Well, just a couple days ago. Let's just say it like that. San Francisco is Super Bowl bound, man. I think that whoever comes out of the NFC is probably going to be between Seattle and maybe San Francisco. Frank Gore's not getting any younger. I'm looking at Kaepernick and I'm saying, is he going to evolve into a bigger and better player? I think he will sooner or later. I think they'll probably prove that this year by being more of a pocket QB. And then you look at Dallas. Dallas has defensive problems. They'll be able to score on San Francisco, but I don't think that they'll be able to keep up defensively. I'm going with San Francisco. Going to the Sunday night game, Indianapolis against Denver. Now, Denver coming off the Super Bowl loss, terrible loss. They got blown off the field. I expect for them to come out stronger. than they looked last year, which is probably, probably somewhat impossible to look stronger than they did last year. And then you look at Indianapolis, one of the youngest teams in the league, very athletic, very agile. I think that they'll put up a good fight, but in the end, Denver should win this game. Monday Night Football, the Giants and Detroit. All right. Monday Night Football, first game on Monday Night Football, doubleheader. And, I'm looking at Eli and the Giants, and I'm saying, did they do enough to, get into the argument of saying that they could contend for the NFC East title? And right now, I can't say that. They're basically a work in progress. And then I'm looking at Detroit, and I'm saying, Calvin Johnson, Sam Bradford. I mean, not Sam Bradford, but Stafford. I always get Stafford and Bradford always mixed up. But it's one of those situations where, I'm looking at both of these teams and I'm saying, hey, can they, put together enough of a good effort to make the playoffs? I think that both of these teams could potentially be playoff teams, but in the end, I think that Detroit's going to win this game for sure. And then you go to the last game. San Diego travels to Arizona to take on Arizona. Now, I like San Diego. I've been hard on Phillip Rivers, for a long time now, because I think that he's a little bit, I think that he's probably underachieving there in San Diego. I mean, when you really look at that trade back in the day between the Giants and San Diego, I think that the Giants got the better of that trade. But, looking at Arizona, they're bringing back Carson Palmer. Larry Fitzgerald is he's probably the best player in the league that you really don't hear a whole bunch a lot about, saying, he's there, but you don't hear too much about him. But, I think that Arizona's going to win this game. San Diego can definitely go in there and win it, but I'm going to go with San Diego. So let me go ahead and run down my week 1 picks. All right. Now, you done listened long enough. If you listen to the video long enough, all right, you would have got the picks for all the games. So you might as well go ahead, drop a like and all that. Share it a couple times. I'm going to run through the picks one more time. I'm going with Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, the Jets, Ravens, Chicago, Washington, Kansas City, New England, Carolina, San Francisco, the Colts, Lions, and Cardinals. That's my week 1 picks. It's the WC. Let me know how you feel down below, man. I'm going to be doing this on a week-to-week basis. And until next time, folks, peace out. Make sure that you like it, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know how you feeling about this. And I'll see you guys for week 2's picks next Thursday. It's going to be an annual upload next Thursday, right around maybe 5 o'clock. I'm going to let you guys know. Be doing the weekly posting of these videos. So let me know how you guys feel. WC. And I'm gone, man.